Yes, sir, we are live now. We can start with the meeting.
Good morning, all the shareholders. I, Kishore Shah, Company Secretary of the National Commodity and Derivatives Exchange Limited, and pleased to welcome you to the 22nd Annual General Meeting of NCDEX. As allowed through various circulars issued by the Minister of Corporate Affairs and the Securities and Exchange Board of India, the exchange is holding its AGM through video conferencing with an arrangement with the NSDA. I would like to spare a few minutes to explain about the procedural and technical aspects of it. The facility for joining the meeting through video conferencing is made available to the shareholders. The instructions for joining the AGM and e-voting are mentioned in detail in the notice of the AGM. During the AGM, if all shareholders face any technical issue, he may contact the toll-free number 1800-1020-990 or 1800-224430. The shareholders may note that in compliance with the applicable MCA and SEBI circulars, the exchange has sent its notice of the AGM and the annual report for the financial year 24-25 to all these shareholders who have registered email IDs with the exchange, its RTAs, or their respective depository participants. Further, pursuant to recent amendments, the Regulation 36 of the SEBI LODR Regulation 2015, the exchange has also sent the letters providing the web link, including the exact path where complete details of the annual report is available to those shareholders whose email ID were not so registered. The exchange has also published notices in English and in Marathi newspapers, furnishing the requisite information relating to the AGM, the remote e-voting, and participation in the AGM through VC. All the shareholders who have joined the AGM through VC have been by default kept on mute by the host, that is NSDM, to avoid any disturbances or background noise and to ensure smooth conduct of the AGM. The shareholders attending the AGM through VC will be counted for the purpose of reckoning the quorum under Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. The shareholders who have registered as speaker for the AGM will be allowed to express their views or ask their questions in the question-answer session. Each speaker shareholder shall be unmuted once their name is called. Since this meeting is being conducted through VC, in accordance with the MCA circulars, the requirement of proxies to attend the meeting on behalf of the members has been dispensed with. The statutory register, as required under the Companies Act 2013, along with all the documents referred to in the notice of the AGM, including the statement pursuant to the provisions of Section 102 of the Act, are available for inspection. Considering the number of members who have till now joined the meeting is more than 30, few of the shareholders have joined through direct link because of some technical issues, and few have already joined through their regular shareholders portal. So the requisite quorum is there. I now request Ashish Boguna, sir, Chairman of the Board of the Exchange, to take forward proceedings of the AGM. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shah, Company Secretary. Good morning to everybody. I, Ashish Bahuguna, Chairman of the Board of the Exchange, welcome you all to this AGM. In accordance with Article 98 of the Articles of Association of the Exchange, being the Chairman of the Board, I hereby take the chair. And as the Company Secretary has explained, as the requisite quorum for the AGM is present, I call the meeting to order. Before we start the main proceedings, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce my colleagues on the board of your exchange, the KMPs under the Companies Act, representatives of statutory and secretarial auditors, and the scrutinizer who joined the AGM through video conferencing from their respective locations. So, Mr. Somasankar Prasad, who is a PID and as well as the chairman of the audit committee, is present in the meeting. Mr. R. Amalor Pavanathan, who is a public interest director and chairman of the nomination and remuneration committee, is also present. Mr. Sanjeev Rohila, who is a non-independent director on behalf of NABARD, and he's the chairman of the stakeholders relationship committee, is also present. Mr. Hemant Adarkar, public interest director and chairman of the risk management committee, is also present. Dr. Adarkar is also chairman of the SCOT. Dr. Mukulita Vijayvargiya, Public Interest Director, is also present. Mr. Arun Raste, your Managing Director and CEO, is present. Mr. Atul Rumta, Chief Financial Officer, is present, and you can see him in the boardroom. Mr. Kishore Shah, whom you have already met, Company Secretary, is present. And on behalf of Khandelwal Jain and Company, our statutory auditors, Mr. Lalit Parmar is present. Mr. Uma Shankar Hidge is present as representative of Ragni Chokshi and Company, secretarial auditors, as well as scrutinizer for the AGM. I don't think I've missed out any director or KMP who's present. If I have, they may kindly introduce themselves. Okay, thank you. As informed by the Company Secretary, the annual report of the exchange for the financial year 24-25 and the notice for this AGM has already been circulated to the shareholders. With the permission of the shareholders, I take the notice convening the 22nd AGM as read. The shareholders may note that the objective of ordinary businesses is to comply with the statutory or regulatory requirements, whereas for special businesses, the objective and implications have been explained in the explanatory statements annexed to the notice convening this AGM. Before we take up the main agenda, I would like to take this opportunity to share with you all a perspective on the commodity trading industry and the overall economic and governance conditions under which your exchange operates. The financial year 24-25 was reflective of significant volatility in the global commodity markets, characterized by notable price fluctuations, evolving policy frameworks, and, as you all know, unexpected disruptions. As global economies turned inward to shore up food security and protect domestic boundaries, India's agricultural sector proved remarkably resilient. Grain and pulses output climbed to 353.96 million tons, up more than 21 million tons from last year, and domestic food exports rose 6.4%, even as global grain trade contracted by 7%. Similarly, the exchange weathered the prolonged suspension of its key derivative contracts by doubling down on innovation and diversification, mirroring the sector's robust response to a disrupted global order. Disruptions in global trade and the ongoing suspension of our derivative contracts for over 3.5 years have affected every link in the commodity value chain. Farmers face uncertainty around pricing, and processors have been forced to close operations because they can't hedge price risk without market-driven instruments. To measure the impact of such suspension, IIT Bombay, BIMTech, and IRMA conducted research under the NCDEX Investor Protection Fund. Over the past year, we have actively shared the insights and recommendations with policymakers, trade associations, farmers, FPOs, and industry stakeholders. This research-backed collective push to revive the suspended contracts has strengthened our market connections. At the same time, the exchange has maintained its commitment to outreach and capacity building programs for all participants. FPOs and farmers remain at the heart of our financial inclusion mission, and that commitment translated into a 20% growth in our footprint amongst this sector during 24-25. Driven by our mission to empower primary producers with market-based tools to manage price risk, we have built a strategic alliance with NABARD. Together, NCDEX and NABARD introduced a price protection scheme using put options on spice contracts. Key outcomes of this program include subsidized premiums for put option contracts in spices, enrollment of 80 farmer producer organizations, the shielding of more than 130,000 farmers from price volatility due to participation in this program, the coverage of more than 6,500 metric tons of spices, 90 capacity building programs, and it may be highlighted that nearly half of the FPOs that participated in this program were new to using the instrument of commodity options. This initiative also served as a hands-on capacity building exercise involving NABARD's district development managers to ensure smooth execution. All this was achieved with just the first 5 crore tranche released out of an total allocation of rupees 25 crores by NABARD. The scheme benefited 80 FPOs, like I've said, and extending its reach to more than 130,000 farmers and safeguarding price risk on more than 6,500 metric tons of spices. This initiative could potentially serve as a pilot model for a complementary mechanism alongside the existing MSP framework, paving the way for more inclusive price risk management strategies. The program will continue next season with plans to expand FPO participation even further. Additionally, in another landmark move to safeguard farmers' incomes, the government of Maharashtra, along with NCDEX, Institute of Commodity Markets and Research, that's NICR, under their ambitious Honorable Balasaheb Thackeray Agribusiness and Rural Transformation Project, launched the country's first ever dedicated hedging desk for farmers to help them manage price risk using commodity derivatives. It is a step towards creating a financially inclusive agro ecosystem where our domain expertise is at the center of creating and inspiring nationwide adoption of these market-driven instruments. Some of the key highlights in the FPO segments are expanded network to 673 FPOs across 16 states covering 11 lakh 54,061 farmers, enabled 103 FPOs in 7 states to hedge 11 commodities, totaling just under 1 lakh MT, valued at over 19,000 lakhs, achieved a 28% year-on-year increase in hedged volume, facilitated physical settlement of more than 1,000 MT by 16 FPOs, worth approximately 1,000 lakhs, conducted 122 capacity building programs engaging 709 FPOs, and involved rural development bodies and institutions responsible for rural financial inclusion like KVKs, agriculture universities, NABARD, financial institutions, SRLMs, and state government departments. The connection we built with 1.15 million farmers stands as a powerful endorsement of the trust and confidence that primary producers have placed in our system, a testament to the enduring value and relevance of our platform in their economic journey. The highlights of the financial year 24-25 are as follows. As far as business is concerned, global trade bore the scars of war, shaped by protectionist policies and riddled with tariffs that attempted to override persistent volatility. Ongoing conflicts like the Russia-Ukraine and Iran-Israel conflicts, heightened tensions in the Middle East, and shifting political landscapes raised fresh red flags, leading to a 7% contraction in global trade volumes. Yet, amid these disruptions, trade demonstrated resilience, though not without leaving economic bruises. Our domestic theater remained calmer, with inflation in check, consistently increasing grain production and diplomatic efforts. The exchange resonated the spirit by working on product innovations, market expansion, and strategic institutional support. The exchange has navigated 3.5 years of continued period of suspension of some of its contracts. We realigned our attention on development of new product offerings and strategic alliances. These strategic partnerships were focused at broadening and deepening the impact of our market offerings and capacity building initiatives with the market participants. Industry confidence and support have been essential in navigating these challenging times. In the financial year 24-25, the suspended derivative contracts on our exchange remained in abeyance. Yet, after 2 previous extensions, the suspension was further prolonged on March 31, 2025, offering the industry some hope. The hedgers' participation had largely remained intact, with minor drop mainly attributed to JIRA. The intraday participation has seen a decline due to lower opportunities in key commodities such as guar seed and guar gum. As a result, open interest corrected downwards by 9% as compared to the previous financial year. The exchange still strived to grow business from the existing products and added new ones, especially in the options segment. In 24-25, many of the key commodities such as castor seed, kapas, coriander, and turmeric have shown a positive increase in average open interest. Further, the caster seed contract witnessed strong participation with increase of 4% in ADTV and 23% in ADOI. To unlock fresh growth avenues, we added two new futures contracts, yellow peas and cotton wash oil, and launched 5 options contracts in guar seed, guar gum, dhania, jeera, and turmeric. The spice options have been pivotal in empowering FPOs across 6 states to harness NABARD's put option price protection scheme. Our data sales division also demonstrated resilience in retaining key real-time market data vendors and implementing price adjustments along with onboarding large corporate clients for spot data for select commodities. Apart from ease in trading on the exchange, we have been offering an uninterrupted trading experience year after year. Leveraging technology for internal efficiencies, robotic process automations, and process optimizations has led to reducing the overall time spent in BOD and EOD activities by 80%. This has also made monitoring efficient, along with enabling proactive capabilities to assess delays or issues, ensuring timely intervention. People and technology are two strong pillars that define growth and sustainability for organizations. NCDEX was organized on various tech and HR forums. The accolades presented to the exchange this year have been Most Innovative HR 24 Award by HR Association India, Arogya World Healthy Workplace Award 2024 Silver category by Arogya World, Workplace of Winners Awards by Jombe, Gold Award for the Best Website of the Year at the PR and Communication Access Awards 24, Best Use of Data and Analytics amongst Commodity Exchange at 5th Annual BFCI Technology Excellence Awards by Quantic. Looking ahead, while we continue to scale up our existing product suite, we are also preparing to embrace innovation with offerings such as weather derivatives. In parallel, the exchange is actively working to broaden its participant base by introducing new market segments beyond commodity derivatives, an effort aimed at expanding our sphere of influence and strengthening the institutions. We have begun exploring opportunities to enter the equities segment, which will not only broaden our impact, but will also provide opportunities for every increasing investor base in the country. And I'd like to inform these shareholders that the statutory auditors' reports on the standalone and consolidated financial statements and secretarial audit report of the company for the financial year ending March 31st, 2025, do not contain any qualification, reservation, adverse remark, or disclaimer. The standalone and consolidated balance sheet as on March 31st, 2025, and the statement of profit and loss and the cash flow statement for the year ended on that date, along with the reports of the statutory auditors and the board of directors thereon, have already been shared with the shareholders. With your permission, the same have been taken as read. As mentioned in the notice convening the AGM, several resolutions have been put before the shareholders for their approval. Since the resolutions have been put to vote through electronic voting, no proposing or seconding of the resolutions are required. The combined results of the remote e-voting and e-voting during the AGM will be considered for approval of each of the resolutions. I will now read out the heading of these resolutions. Amongst ordinary businesses, number 1, to receive, consider, and adopt the standalone and consolidated audited financial statements for the financial year ended March 31, 2025, along with the reports of the board of directors and the auditors thereon. Number 2, to appoint a director in place of Mr. Sanjeev Rohilla, who retires by rotation and being eligible, offers himself for reappointment, subject to approvals of SEBI. And then amongst the special businesses, to appoint Ms. Ragini Chokshi and company secretaries as secretarial auditors, to approve number 4, to approve the remuneration of Mr. Arun Raste, MD and CEO, for the 5th year of his appointment, that is from June 7, 2025 till June 6, 2026. Number 5, to appoint Mr. Ratnakar Patnaik, MD of LIC, as a non-independent director. Number 6, to approve increase in the authorized share capital of the exchange and subsequent alteration in the memorandum of association of the exchange. And number 7, to consider offer an issuance of 3 crore 90 lakhs 18,973 equity shares of face value of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 187.34 per share, aggregating to rupees 770 crore 4,155 only on preferential basis. So as you can see, we have a very voluminous agenda ahead of us. I now call upon all of you, the shareholders of the exchange, to ask their queries, if any, relating to the audited financial statements and the reports thereon, and on any other item of business proposed in the notice convening this AGM. And I also request the company secretary to commence the question and answer session if there are any questions from the shareholders.
Thank you, sir. In the AGM notice, the exchange has appealed to the shareholders to send their queries and register themselves as speakers through email in advance. However, we have not received any such email for the purpose. So we can therefore move on to the e-voting directly. So there will be no question and answer session, sir.
Okay, thank you. If all these shareholders then agree, before putting the resolutions for e-voting, I would then request the company secretary to give the necessary information as is required.
Yeah. So, dear shareholders, now before putting the resolutions for e-voting, please note the following important things. The exchange has provided remote e-facility to its shareholders to vote for the resolutions set forth in the notice. The cutoff date to determine the eligible members to vote and attend the AGM was Thursday, September 18, 2025. Accordingly, the members who were holding equity shares of the exchange as on said cutoff date were eligible to attend the AGM and cast their vote on the resolutions proposed in the AGM notice. The voting rights would be in proportion to the equity shares held by them as on the said cutoff date. The remote e-voting process was kept open from Monday, September 22, 2025 to Wednesday, September 24, 2025. Further, the shareholders who have not exercised their vote electronically till now through remote e-voting and who are participating in this meeting may cast their votes through the e-voting system provided by the NSDL. The shareholders can click on the vote tab on the video conference screen to avail this feature. E-voting will remain open for 30 minutes from the conclusion of this AGM. The Board of Directors has appointed Messrs. U. Hegde and Associates, practicing company secretary, as the scrutinizer to supervise the e-voting process. The results of the e-voting will be declared as per the statutory timelines and will be made available on the website of the exchange and on the website of the NSDL as well. Results will also be displayed at the register office of the exchange. So thank you. Thank you, Chairman, for conducting the AGM. Now you may conclude the annual general meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Company Secretary. Unless we have received any last-minute requests for questions, then there seem to be no other business to transact. Hence, the AGM stands concluded upon completion of the e-voting. My sincere thanks to all the shareholders, to the directors, the KMPs, the auditors, all of whom have participated in today's meeting. I wish you a great and fulfilling ahead, and I wish that with your cooperation, the exchange strives ahead in the years to come and becomes a leading entity in the field of the commodity markets. Thank you very much. I now call this meeting